Hi, Jenny here. Today I'm going to try a little bit of a different type of a video. I want to try a vlog. About a month ago, our family took a vacation to Seattle, Washington over Labor Day weekend, and we went to a PAX convention. That is a YouTube/gaming convention. And we had tickets for 2 of those days. We did for Friday and for Monday. My younger daughter and I like to watch YouTube videos, and we were lucky enough to meet a couple YouTubers there. And my husband and my older daughter like to do gaming. And so they got to meet a bunch of people that were dressed up in costumes, so cosplayers, and had their pictures taken with them. So that was pretty exciting for them too. On the other 2 days that we were there, we just kind of saw the other sights of Seattle. So for this video, I'm going to put down some timestamps down below, and I'll have the PAX part of the video first, and then I'll have our Seattle vacation part pictures second. I didn't take my main camera with me, so I don't have videos of anything going on, but I did take my regular camera and I just have a bunch of pictures. So I'll put all those together for this video. And that way, if you don't want to watch the whole thing, you can go to the part that you want. So whether the PAX part or whether the vacation part, and then I also put down the YouTubers that we met and where they are in this video. So I hope that you really enjoy it. Bye! Here's our first day of PAX and one of the street signs that they had up above announcing that. And there we are getting ready for our first day. And here is Hanzo, one of the characters. Here's a guy that was wearing a Pac-Man suit. Here is Tracer and Mercy. So all these people that are all nice and dressed up for the conference. There's Robbie Rotten. Here is Lux. There's Gangplank. There's Ezreal. There's a Dead by Daylight game that my daughter played while she was there. There's another Mercy. And this is Shaco. And then my daughter got up on stage and she was able to play a League of Legends game. This was a computer room that they had there that everybody was able to play on the computers what they wanted. These were some prizes that she ended up winning. Here's a Caitlin. And then my other daughter and I went to a panel. So this was the Future of Gaming panel that they had. And then here is the Night in the Woods characters. I guess this is an Aperture Science guy. And Luigi and BB-8. And there I am when I got to meet HoodiePanda or Bret. And we went to Ethan's Q&A panel, and in the audience we had Amy and Mark and Jack and Wiishu and Katherine and some other friends. And there's Wade. So Ethan's panel was pretty cool. All his Q&As, he did a very good job. And there's HoodiePanda again and Emily. They came out of the panel. Here is Farah. And here's Orissa. And then we got to meet Brian and Ethan. So that was pretty awesome. We were very excited about that. And there's a page that I made that I wanted to have for them to sign. And then later in the day, we got to meet Bret and Emily. So I got to meet them. And again, those are some pages that I made for those guys to sign. And then on Monday, when we were ready for PAX, this was the lineup that we had of how many people that were in line to get in there. So there's still a whole lot of people even on Monday to come in. And here's Bill and McGucket. Here's the character Jin. There's Jason. There's another Jin. And then there's this really cool exploding kittens booth. The booth was like in the shape of a cat. And you could choose the prizes that you wanted. And in order to get those, they would hold up all these cool different signs. It was very interactive. And they would hold up signs as to what they were doing, what was going on. So they had like the math wizards are calculating your order. Math is hard. So many numbers. Please stand by. And then after that, they would put your prize out of the bottom. There's a little trap door, and they'd put your prizes out there. So some people were getting like oatmeal, or they were getting little cat bowls with some fruit in there. Or they got a squash or that. So my daughter ended up getting a cucumber with a hat on it that said, "Well done." And then we also got a kitten's pin. So that's pretty cool. And then we got to meet Robin, who is one of JackSepticEye's editors of his stuff. And we got to meet Ethan again. They were walking around on the floor, so that was pretty exciting. We got to see them. Then there's this pretty cool guy that was in some Canada pants and, well, Canada. So that was the end of PAX. So now we're on to the part where we actually left on Thursday morning to fly to Seattle, and that was our little view out of the plane. And here we landed in Denver. And here are some mountains as we were flying off to Seattle. And when we got there, it was a little bit early. The hotel wasn't ready for us yet, so we had an awesome breakfast. They have a cool little restaurant attached right to the hotel, so we got to eat, and then we decided to go see some sights in the town. Here's a cool little post-it note Pooh Bear that was across the street from our hotel. And then we got to see the very first Starbucks that was created, so established in 71. And in there they had a couple of cool PAX drinks just for the PAX weekend. So we tried the cake. That was good. And we made it to the public market center, the Pike Market, and saw some sights in there. Cool little bench. There's a cool pig all dressed up. And, of course, notice the specialty items, what they sell there. Brains, tongue, kidneys, all that good stuff you can buy. And then the famous thing that they are famous for is the fish. So you can buy some fish, and somebody's on the outside there and grabbing the fish that you want, and they throw it to the guys behind the counter. They nicely wrap it up, and they'll ship it home for you. And then I just had to take a picture of this awesome sword because, it's so awesome. And outside they had a nice little garden area that they grew some of the stuff that they actually used for their restaurants. And then one of the sites you could see off there. And they had some areas you could write on. So what leads to satisfaction? You could write some things on there. They also had a pig that you could draw on and write on. And then there was a Sasquatch that was in the area. And then going to the bathroom was pretty cool. This is how they had the bathrooms marked. So XX for the girls and the XY for the boys. I thought that was pretty interesting. And there's some shirts that they sold. Now, we didn't go down to it, but here was an actual gum wall. So people would actually chew your gum, and you would stick it to the wall. And I guess they tried cleaning them off once, but then people went back and they stuck their gum on there again. So that's what it is. Also down the street, they had a living statue. So she would stand there and look like a statue, and then you actually, give her a little tip in the tip jar, and then she would move for you. So back to our hotel. This is what it was. We were at Hotel 5. They were a dog-friendly hotel, so in the lobby they had a cool dog statue. That's what our room looked like. And then what their pillows were like, and also the door hanging signs. They were pretty interesting. And once again, more food for breakfast the next day as we were ready to do our sightseeing. So here's the Space Needle. We walked over to that. The hotel we were at was actually kind of in the middle of the city, so it was very nice. It was only 7 blocks away from like the convention center or here from the Space Needle. So while we were going to see the Space Needle, they had the halls filled with all these nice signs that you could read all about how the Space Needle was, the idea was come up with, and how they formed it all and how they built it. So that was pretty interesting. And then we made it up to the top. It's pretty good. The elevator went up. You see the way outside, and even me being afraid of heights, it was an okay ride. We faced the back of the elevator, but it wasn't even bad. So while we're up there, and you get to see all around on the outside, you get to walk around out there and see the whole city and what it all looks like from up there. So that was pretty neat. In the gift shop, they had this pretty cool book, Weedle and the Noodle. And then after that, we went to go see the Chihuly Glass Garden and exhibits. We bought the city pass, so that included a whole bunch of these sites, which was pretty awesome. It was a very good deal, and we used up our whole book actually. So here are some of the sites that were in there. The colors were unbelievable. You have to see them in person to kind of get a real feel for it. It's cool. This is a glass ceiling, and he actually put stuff up there. And all these things they're all just glass, and they're pretty colors. Some of them are so big, can't believe some of them are so round, perfectly round. And all these pieces of glass that are formed together to make one big piece. Just beautiful. Some paintings and stuff that he got some inspiration from. These other ones that were hanging from the ceiling. This was outside an atrium area. And then outside the garden area, there were also some other glass things. The outside glass garden was inspired by his own mother's garden. So once again, the colors were awesome. They had some black grass in front of this sculpture piece that was just unbelievable. Never seen black grass before like that. And more pieces, a really tall green one like that. And this one looks like amethyst rock. These cool flowers. Oh, they reminded me of Dr. Seuss. It's pretty cool. And then we went to the Pop Culture Museum. So we went to the Star Trek area, and that's good steps going up. So we got to see some of the Star Trek exhibits, some of the cool stuff that they had in there, all original pieces. And part of the museum, they had this cool guitar sculpture that was filled with guitars and a couple other instruments in there. And then there was a little Mario wall. And then they had one of the Muppets type puppet in there, Jim Henson characters from The Dark Crystal. This is a gentle mystic. They had a soundstage area, so you could go in there and you could try different instruments out and try that. And then we went on to a boat tour. So this is an otter that was outside for our Argosy boat tours. And from the boat tour, again, you could see all the different land, all the different buildings. So kind of what we saw from the Space Needle, but down lower. And on this little area here, there were actually some sea otters that were sunning themselves. So that was pretty cool to see. This is the shipping area. These are some of the big boats that they had that they take all those crates out. And then these little guys here, as part of the shipping cranes, were the inspiration for the Star Wars characters, the all-terrain armored transport. So that was pretty neat. And they had, again, all these cranes on there. The people that had to work the cranes, they have to work them pretty quickly and be very skilled at this. So the longer the boats are in port, the more they have to pay. So they want to get them filled as quickly as possible and get them out. And there's just some more of the city. This was our tour guide, Jesse. He was very good and knowledgeable about telling us all about the city. It's a cool fountain along the walkway. We went to go see the Seattle Aquarium. So there were some jellyfish in there and a cool little like clear donut type archway you could walk through. And they had a touch tank with all these sea urchins in there and different other little animals and tubes and stuff that you could touch. Sharks, some awesome, very pretty fish that they had. And then they had these fish that would just lay on the glass panels. There were other fish that were swimming around all around them, but these guys were just laying there. As my daughter liked to say, they were having an existential crisis. That's what they look like. They were just hanging out. We had some lunch. We went to Red Robin, had some wonderful, delicious food and awesome drinks. And then we went to the Yield Curiosity Shop. Some rocks that you could buy. Again, some interesting books. If you give a mouse an iPhone. Or Goodnight iPad. Parodies of other books you might have heard of. They had the Australia's Prophecies. You could put $1 in there and get your prophecy out in a little card. And also the other game there where you see where you're at. Of course, I got the bottom. Poor fish, try again. There was a mermaid. There's one of the mummies that they have there, which was the founder families of the shop. This was his friend. And there's a cute little guy that you could buy in the shop. They had a bunch of different interesting things.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments below what your favorite vacation has been and maybe who some of your favorite YouTubers are too. If you want to see one of my latest videos, you can click up there. If you want to subscribe to me, click over there. Keep it positive. Go make it a great day. Bye-bye.